Welcome back to the Megawatt Home Renovation YouTube channel. My name is Trevor, this is Matt. He is the man with the plan. He is the guy who is basically your general contractor as well as a master electrician. And today our topic is how to manage the homeowner. Ooh, tricky one.
It's a touchy one that not a lot of people want to touch. Like, they really don't want to touch it, and it is something that needs to be kind of said. So
yeah, so be ready for the harsh reality that, you know, even though the contractor's smiling, he's probably wanting to kill you sometimes, right? But anyways, we'll get into that a little bit today and how to manage the homeowner and their expectations. But first, we're going to start off with a quote from Ken Blanchard. Just having satisfied customers isn't good enough anymore. If you really want a booming business, you have to create raving fans.
Raving fans.
Raving fans. So people who are excited about working with you, excited about your company, and they'll tell people about it.
Yep.
What an awesome job you did.
It's my favorite part about it is having customers actually tell me that me being stringent about code compliance and everything, it precedes me. So they know that I pull permits and I do all of that stuff before I even get on the phone with them. And they're like, yeah, we know this and we love that. And so it's kind of nice to have people actually talk for you instead of you saying, hey, I'm this person and I do this job. It's nice to have your referrals from your customers. So
awesome. So quick statistic for you guys, I'm just going to read it off. The average cost overrun due to customer changes is shown to be between 11 and 15% of the original contract value in the large building construction, where the average schedule overrun is shown between 10 and 20% of the original duration. Holy moly, that is excessive.
It's not a little.
It's not small.
No, because like really whoever thinks, hey, I should budget for 25% over the original budget due to my choices. Nobody. They always think, hey, the budget has my choices already in it and I just got to change some stuff.
And we'll probably come in a little under that.
Yeah, totally.
We'll
for
have
sure.
a little bit left over for fun money.
Yeah.
Never happens. That rarely, if ever, happens. Okay. So let's get into some questions that we have to cover how to manage the homeowner. Number one, the customer is always right?
No. The homeowner is not, or the customer is not always right. Sometimes you have to protect them from themselves. Sometimes they think that, no, I want this no matter what. And you really have to just put your foot down. And sometimes you do, believe it or not, as the expert, know what is best for your customer. And if they still don't want to listen, then it's going to, just going to cost them money and time at the end. But at least you kind of tried to harness them in and say, no, we can't do that on this budget or this timeline. You're being unreasonable.
Yeah. So the answer is always yes, and
sometimes
sign here.
No.
Sign here. Right?
Sign here, and you're wrong. No.
Say, yes, absolutely, we can do that. It's only going to cost you an extra 15% on your total bill.
Yeah, well, the average is 10 to 20, so you're getting a 5% deal.
Boom. That's all.
Sales.
Okay, question number two. Is managing a homeowner easier or harder than managing a trade?
They have their challenges within it. Dealing with certain trades is like dealing with prima donnas, electricians. Yeah, sometimes homeowners are way more difficult. They're less understanding about timelines. They're less understanding about the finishing product. They're less understanding about a lot of things that just a tradesperson would have the understanding of you saying, hey, this part isn't yet. We have to hold off on this part until we get this in. The other trades go, gotcha, I understand. Whereas a customer goes, well, that doesn't make sense to me. Why can't we just do this part next and then come back and finish it? They tend to not understand the full process and the full scope of what needs to be done. So homeowners tend to be sometimes the worst worst people on the sites for sure.
Yeah, and they have sometimes unrealistic expectations because they watch the home and garden television channels, and all of these amazing projects are done in like a half-hour program.
Yep.
Like what, you know, these guys started here and they ended here, and it seems like pretty easy.
Well, yeah, but they don't show the fact that, you know, they got special permitting to run 24 hours a day for 8 weeks, and it's fast tracked into a 3-week shooting period, and they have all of their materials and all of their furnishing, and everything is on site. And 90% of the time, as that family's walking through, there are crews still finishing, doing the mudding and the taping, and they just finished 2 weeks after the showing's done.
Yeah.
So
Not to mention the 6 to 8 weeks ahead of time when they're all doing the pre-planning and
Yes.
the pre-production of the show
100%.
to look like, oh, we just met these people. It's like, no, it's baloney.
Yeah,
They've known for a while.
yeah.
So it's just TV. It's not real, folks. Okay, you cannot do a massive building project in a half-hour program or a few weeks, right? The show that I liked that was more realistic, they don't show it anymore, but This Old House.
I loved it.
You'd be watching a building project for like 2 months. Like it'd be like a month of Sundays you'd be watching, or 2 months of Sundays, and they're still working on this project. Like, holy wow.
Yeah, and they take you to different spots in the
Yeah.
project and show you all the different parts. I really liked it. I learned a lot of what I do from
Bob
that,
Vila.
from that show. Bob
Yeah.
Vila,
Yeah.
it was.
So that was the good show.
Yep.
And then, oh man, that Carpenter guy, he did some amazing work.
Yeah, he's still rocking around on some of the other shows. So
But anyways, we're
getting off track.
sorry guys. The next one is some large volume builders allow their homeowners to walk through the house 3 times. Now, as a small builder, is this a good practice to follow, and should homeowners expect this as a standard?
Expecting anything is kind of, it's presumptuous. It's kind of like, would you allow me to come to your job and just start poking around and pulling your drawers out because you were my banker? No. But in this kind of aspect with a renovation, this is your house, this is your baby, this is a giant investment for you. So Megawatt doesn't have an issue with it as long as we're kind of notified with, you know, enough notice that we can make it a safe place for somebody that is not a construction orientated person.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't mind. You can come in the middle, the end, all the stages. It doesn't really matter to us. We have nothing to hide. It's just we'd like to have all of the safety procedures, the railings up and stuff like that for when the homeowner comes.
All right, Matt. Nice. So the next question we've got for you, what are the negative connotations that arise from having a homeowner walk through unsupervised?
Well, like every site that I've ever been on in the world, safety, safety, safety. I show up to work with my work boots on, my full length clothing, my PPE, my gloves, everything like that. Homeowners generally show up in loafers or flip-flops or shorts, and not wearing a hat, not wearing anything like that. So it's really a big safety thing that homeowners should not be walking through your project. Nobody should ever be walking through your projects just by themselves. They should always be chaperoned by somebody that knows the hazards that are on your job site.
Okay. That's very important because we don't want anybody to get hurt. We don't want them to fall down 2 stories, 2 flights of stairs because there's no railings, or maybe the stairs aren't even there yet.
Yeah, or the back deck isn't there and they go to step out those beautiful French doors and 5-6 feet fall.
Oops.
So
sorry. Okay, next question is, do you allow homeowners to make changes with other trades directly?
no, and I basically allow it to, if I hear about it, it happens once. And then I make sure the homeowner understands that can't happen, because it leads to a huge problem with knowing where the project is when I'm showing up to expect that a plumber is finishing their bathroom off and they're off putting in a Hawaiian Tropic fountain punch in the hallway when the homeowner wanted it, but there was no change order by me, or so how is that getting paid for and everything. So No, I don't allow homeowners to deal with the trades whatsoever. That's why I'm there. If they have any issues with specific trades, I have no problem doing the mediation between them, but I always have to be there. If they overstep that boundary, that's a big thing for me, because it'll end up costing me money at the end.
Yeah, and I know that you've seen Mr. Deeds,
Yes.
because the
Hawaiian
Punch
trout
cooler.
Everybody
Hawaiian
wants
punch.
one.
Yeah, I want Hawaiian Punch. A cooler in my
That'd be
bedroom. Why not, right?
fantastic.
Is this Hawaiian Punch? You love the Hawaiian Punch, sir. Okay, we're getting off topic again.
It's
all
all
your
right.
fault.
It's
All
all
your
right.
fault. Okay, so what are some tricks to managing very demanding and hands-on owners?
So you limit the amount of time by not limiting the amount of time. You can say you can come whenever you want, but we need at least a 1 week notice. You need to be here for this specific time, and you slot them in for, they're only allowed to be there for 45 minutes or half an hour. That way they basically get the essence of, hey, I'm valued and my opinion is valued here, and look, I can just show up. But really, it's you're scheduling them in so that you know that you're going to take them to the spots that they're not going to really pick about, and kind of get them on their way.
Okay, now this next one's a doozy. How do you deal with homeowners' independent inspections from brothers-in-law and fathers-in-law and things like that? How do you deal with that?
Bring it. I love it. I love to hear the wacky comments that some people say, like, hey, do you know that shouldn't be like that? Oh, why is that? Well, back when I was doing it, and this is how it was done. Oh, well, that's changed like 4 times. We're not allowed to do that anymore. We have to do it this way. But honestly, sometimes those guys or ladies, they have amazing little tricks. They're like, hey, by the way, if you ever get into this issue, you can just do this. And it's like, oh, I never even would have thought of that. That's great. I'm bettering myself. But I bring it along because at the end of the day, my customer didn't hire their brother or their brother-in-law. So they can come and inspect it all they want and tell them how crappy it is or whatever. But it's me with the permits and the inspections and the green stickers that come in with my client, and I show them, hey, look, this has been fully inspected by accredited inspectors. So your brother-in-law, he can inspect all he wants. I love it.
Last question. Do you ever allow homeowners to do some of the work themselves or hire their own trades for parts of the job?
So at the beginning we didn't, but as we kind of found that homeowners want to be part of their project too. So if there is a project that they want to take on, and if I'm on the site, it's kind of like a coaching that we offer. So they can be part of their project and tell their family and friends that, hey, look, I was actually part of this renovation. I did this room by myself. And it gives the homeowners a lot of pride and courage to say, I did this. I came out of my hesitation, and I was shown the proper ways to do it. So yeah, we don't allow it on all the projects, but if a homeowner is really diligent and saying, I've wanted to do this for a really long time, I have no problem. We can kind of work with the homeowner to say, hey, just allow a couple hours for teaching you and stuff like that, and generally they're really okay with it, because at the end they have a skill, and they get to say that they actually helped build their renovation, not somebody built my renovation. So.
Yeah, and also on the flip side, some of the things that you offer that are different than other general contractors is if someone is doing, let's say, a basement development, and they can do some of the work because they have some skills, let's say framing or maybe doing
100%.
a floor or whatnot, they do that, but then you can come in and say, okay, I can finish the rest of this project for you because you're stuck, right?
Yep.
You have no idea how to finish the rest, but you want to. Well, I can help you with that.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of that's like the big happy thing that I can, I've seen a lot of happy customers at the end when they say, I helped lay this floor. And really, what was it for me to help teach them? Because at the end of the day, they're going to say, I don't want to lay that floor again, but you should call Matt and he'll come over and maybe he'll show you how to lay the floor too, right? And then yeah, it's just something a little bit extra that Megawatt does.
Awesome. Okay, thank you, Matt. That was another good video, and we also found out that he loves Adam Sandler movies.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, right.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? I mean, it's classic entertainment.
Are
Good
you too
comedy.
good for your home?
So call in Matt. He'll come in and provide some comic relief and do a great job on your renovation project. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.